and 10 for the Golden Flashes of Kent State University at their own 20-yard line.
Just another ideal day for football, Jim. Sun is out, and what a great crowd. They're expecting a capacity-plus crowd situation this afternoon, around 25,000. Kelly Short Stadium only holds 20,000 people, so the fans are going to play a big part in this football game this afternoon.
Patrick Young will lead the offense. He's a sophomore out last year. Eric Wilkerson was the man who led the nation all-purpose yardage. A change. Chad Kaufman is in at the tackle slot. Mike Haskell moves out to the other side of the tight end, and here's Eric Wilkerson as he gets up to about the 24-yard line. Mark Dennis, one of the outside linebackers, was in on the stop for the Chippewas of Central Michigan.
David Johnson also went on that tackle, and that's what we're going to see all afternoon, folks. Rushing, and more rushing. We may see some passing. Perhaps Kent State will throw the ball a little more than Central Michigan.
This is an outstanding group, and Dennis is the man who was in on the last tackle. Deron Robertson also outstanding. We'll see a lot of shifts in the secondaries, but notice Rickenstrick and Curtis are two outstanding players in the middle. Here's Young on the action. And the slippery one gets a first down as he gets up to about the 35-yard line. Ken Strong in on the tackle, the cornerback out of Flint, Michigan.
That was a great play. He faked a little bit to the fullback and never once faked to Eric Wilkerson in the backfield. It was an option, a one-play option all the way. And I'll tell you one thing, he came within a tackle of breaking it all the way. I'll tell you, not only do you have to be concerned about Eric Wilkerson, you got to be concerned about Patrick Young, two outstanding guys in the backfield. It'll be interesting if Central Michigan can stop both of them today.
First and 10 now for the Golden Flashes. Throw 34, lost the football! And Mark Dennis of Central Michigan recovers.
That's something you don't want to see, Jim, this early in the football game. A turnover in your own territory, and it's something that Kent State cannot afford. Turned the ball over last week. A lot of penalties, a lot of missed opportunities last week for Kent State, and they're starting it off the same way this afternoon against Central Michigan. And we'll see if Central Michigan can take advantage of this turnover early on.
Jeff Bender, the quarterback of Central Michigan, and they get a Christmas gift early. They'll start out at the Kent State 32-yard line, first and 10. Here's the option. Bender on the keeper up to the 30-yard line. Andrew Harmon, an outside linebacker, in on the stop. Jeff Bender will lead this offense with John Hood back in the starting lineup at 1,121 yards a year ago. Eric Reed, an MVP at the split end as far as this team goes. They also have Chuck Pellegrini, who's a fine guard, a pro prospect definitely at the right guard slot, and they like to run right for both sides. Second down and 8. Central Michigan at the Kent 30, and that's Hood diving to about the 26-yard line. It'll be third down coming up. As you look at the defense, some changes here. Bill Thompson will get a start. Eric Timko missed last week. He'll move to an inside linebacker slot. Jamie Howell very steady, and Bert Widener is also a pro prospect at the right tackle slot. There are the changes. Timko, who missed last week's game, moves to the inside, joining L.D. Hartman there. J.D. Barnes is also back. As it's 3rd and 4 for Central Michigan. Bender's going to throw it. Over the middle, wide open. First down for Central Michigan. L.D. Hartman is in on the stop as the catch was by the tight end, Mark Hopkins, for a first down.
Well, Central Michigan will throw the ball this afternoon, Jim, when they need to throw the ball, and they needed to on that play. It was a 3rd and 4 situation. Found the open slot upside the zone in the middle and hit him for the first down. Again, great protection. He had a lot of time to throw. Just a little curl inside, right in front of the linebacker.
Central, 1st and 10 now at the Kent 18. Here's John Hood. And J.D. Barnes, the strong safety, came up to make the stop as Hood gets up to about the 15-yard line.
It's been a very physical football team, Jim, and there's going to be some hitting. I think they've really scouted the Central Michigan rushing offense with a rushing offense that's #1 in the conference. I mean, you have to be prepared for just about everything. We'll see if they can stop Central Michigan and at least have them try for a field goal. Big set of downs for the defense here for Kent State.
There you see David Neal and the officials' crew as it's 2nd down and 6 after the gain of 4. Here's Hood. And he's finally brought down, as you see, J.D. Barnes and Philip Thompson, who got a start today, in on the stop. Third and short coming up.
Notice on the sideline, Jim, that Patrick Young for Kent has a bandage on his arm, and maybe John can find out if there's a injury there.
Patrick Young missed all of last year except for a few plays in the Kent opener against Akron and Jerry Faust. He went down when he was pulled down by a face mask, because now we have a penalty.
Offense, 2nd down.
First penalty of the ball game for either squad.
Well, here's a situation where Central Michigan would like that momentum and getting a score this early in the game when you capitalize on a turnover. There's nothing more that breaks a back than capitalizing on turnovers, and we'll see if Central Michigan can do it.
2nd and 8 from the Kent 21. Double wide left. Here's Hood wide open. Hood down inside the 5 for a 1st and goal coming up for Central Michigan.
That was a great play call because Kent State's defense was set up to pursue the outside run, Jim, and they just turned it right up the middle where there was no pursuit, no protection at all. Great play call by Central Michigan.
J.D. Barnes saved that play for being a score. 1st and goal, Central Michigan at the Kent 5. 11 minutes, 35 seconds to play, first quarter. We're just underway here in Mount Pleasant. Hood hiding behind the block, and he's down at about the 1-yard line. Tony Wells, the cornerback out of Rochester, Pennsylvania, 6'2", 187-pound senior, was there on the stop.
And Paul Haynes, starting free safety, also came up to make the tackle, Jim. They are now in a situation where you have such a strong backfield as Central Michigan has. They're going to try to pound it right up the gut here.
Herb Duramity, the winningest active coach in the MAC. Here's the fullback give to Connolly, and he didn't get in. Boy, Kent had a good surge there, Greg, and that really was a big play.
Darnell Rush is also in there on offense for Central Michigan, number 25. He's a freshman, and he's going to see some action this afternoon. So Central Michigan is just loaded with talent when it comes to running backs.
It's nice when you have 3 tailbacks. Each of them can get you 100 yards in a game if need be.
And a fullback who got him 100 yards last week.
That's right. Connolly in with Rush and Hood. 3rd and goal. Bender does not get in. And it'll be 4th and goal. Kent with some inspiration. Remember, the Golden Flashes are yet to score a point in the first quarter this year.
I'm not sure about that play call. When you have a backfield like that, I think you got a lot of weapons, so why don't you use the weapons here? He just tries a simple quarterback sneak, probably trying to check off the Kent State defense, and it didn't work. Brings up a great, crucial 4th down play.
Fans coming to their feet. 4th and goal, inside the 1. 9:44 left first quarter. Bender barks out the signals. Hood, touchdown!
Well, they used their weapons this time, and it was a simple dive play. Good offensive line push by Central Michigan, and Hood just had an easy opening getting in for the touchdown.
That comes at 9:37 of the first quarter, and here it is.
Again, good pursuit there, and he just dives through the great off-tackle block and dives right into the end zone.
Kevin Nickel adds the extra point. And so, Kent opens up with just exactly what they didn't want to do, a fumble. Back here in Mount Pleasant, with 9 minutes and 37 seconds remaining, Central Michigan capitalizes on a Kent fumble. They lead it 7-0 on a John Hood 1-yard run. Kevin Nickel kicks off, and this time Eric Wilkerson is in position to field. Oh, he's going to come out. And Wilkerson up only to about the 16, and the ball is loose again. Central's got the football. 2 turnovers on the first 2 drives. They didn't even get this play started from scrimmage this time.
Alan Jones for Central in on the stripping of the ball away, and boy, I'll tell you, this is not good news for Kent State University right now.
Kent does have the ball. Originally, the signal came that Central had the football, but then apparently it was a missed signal. So,
play was blown dead, Jim.
Look at Eric Wilkerson. 28 away from the magic number of 3,000. 1st and 10, Kent at their own 19-yard line. Option, Wilkerson. Met on the play right away. 28, Duran Robertson, the strong safety from Detroit, played him perfect.
Well, Central Michigan played the whole play perfectly. They didn't go for the fake inside to the fullback. They watched the quarterback's eyes, and they were just waiting for Eric Wilkerson here. Wilkerson had no place to go. Duran Robertson, he was just looking at him, and as soon as he got the ball, he was tackled.
Loss of 2, 2nd and 12 for Kent. Line of scrimmage to 17 as Furman Oliveira is in motion. Option left. Young going to keep it. To the 25, and the ball rolls out of bounds. Now, let's check in for an update on the Patrick Young situation with John LaChance.
All right, Jim. Greg alluded to earlier the bandage on Young's left arm. Talking to the training staff, only a bruise during the week. He'll be fine. A little protection there, fellas.
Well, they can't afford to lose Patrick Young in this kind of a situation, Jim. He is a vital cog to their offensive game plan.
3rd and 6. Kent at their own 24. Will they put it up this time? Option right to Wilkerson. He's got some room. He's going to get the first down. As they spot it around the 31-yard line, Ken Strong, the cornerback, and free safety David Johnson from Flint, Michigan, in on the stop.
Well, and the reason he got that yardage, Furman Oliveira put on a great block to the outside, which gave him about 5 or 6 extra yards. Furman Oliveira, wide receiver, an excellent block, and that gave Eric Wilkerson enough for the first down.
Each team now has 2 first downs. We expect to see a lot of offense. 8:37 to play, first quarter. Kent 1st and 10 at their own 31. Ray Carosha, the fullback, to around the 34-yard line. As you see, they're trying to strip the ball from the Kent runners.
Rickham Strick on the tackle. And look, it's apparent now that they want to strip the ball away from Kent State.
Rickham Strick and Curtis are 2 outstanding players.
This telecast is presented by the Mid-American Conference and Master Video. It is intended for the private use of our audience. Any rebroadcast or any use of this telecast without the prior written consent of the Mid-American Conference and Master Video Incorporated is strictly prohibited.
On the play on 2nd and 8, Wilkerson took it up to about the 37-yard line, and cornerback James Williams, 5'10", sophomore out of Detroit, got to meet Wilkerson up close and personally.
I'm sure there's a lot of defenders in the MAC that get to meet Eric Wilkerson up close and personally.
3rd and 5, Kent at their own 37. Again, Oliveira in motion. Young option to Wilkerson, who's not going to get the first down. James Williams and David Johnson, the secondary folks, in on the tackle.
David Johnson really made a big hit there. And I'll tell you one thing, Eric Wilkerson was waving that ball out there, and with Central Michigan trying to strip the ball away, that is not a good idea, because when you keep that ball outside, they're going to go for it.
L.D. Muddy is back deep for Central Michigan to receive Andy Logan's punt, who's also the free safety. Very low kick, fielded by one of the Chippewas up at around the 46-yard line. It appeared to be
Steve Gruhl.
Steve Gruhl, right.
Steve Gruhl got it, and it was a very bad punt, which gives Central Michigan excellent field position.
7 minutes, 20 seconds remains here in the first quarter. CMU about to go on their 2nd drive.
Tell me, is he still upset?
Well, you know, Dad. Never really understood why I joined. I mean, maybe you'll go straight to college. But I had to prove something to myself first.
The GI Bill and Army College Fund. If you qualify, you can get more than $25,000 for college and an edge on life.
Do you think Dad'll ever come around? Dad?
Hi there.
We were going to put this on the shelf in the family room, and we realized that we have to drill a hole.
Highland's 30-day, no questions asked return policy means just that. No questions asked. To get free delivery at most stores, you have to deliver it yourself. But Highland offers free delivery on all major appliances.
I get it. I got it. No!
Just thought you'd like to know.
7 minutes and 20 seconds remains in the first quarter as Central Michigan gets the ball for the second time. This time at their own 46-yard line as they lead it 7-0. Jim Isabella, Greg Brenda, and John LaChance. Here's a fake reverse. There's a long bomb to Eric Reed, and they pumped out of bounds. Some of the fans are going to like it, but it wasn't a catchable ball as J.D. Barnes bumped into Reed, but it was out of bounds and the ball was overthrown.
I think Kent State knew that was coming. They must have seen something like that in film, in practice along the way. They read the fake very well, had good protection on the receivers. Watch it here again. As a little fake to the fullback inside, a little fake to the motion man, and now he's throwing deep down the sidelines and actually didn't get the pass out far enough, threw it out of bounds.
2nd and 10 for the Chippewas of Central Michigan, their own 46. Then they're going to throw it out to Connolly, the fullback. Gets by one man, and he's still on his feet. They finally mark him out of bounds. It'll be a Central first down, their third of the ball game as Eric Timko saved it perhaps from going the distance.
You gotta like what Central Michigan is doing right now. Obviously, they're known for a rushing offense, a potent rushing offense. Now they're saying, okay, we're going to show you the passing game too. Now, Kent State, you're going to have to be worried about two different things. And on this play, it was just a situation, bad tackling.
Jamie Howell was the victim there as it's 1st and 10 now for Central Michigan at the Kent 41. Well, Bender's going to throw it again. Eric Harmon, the tight end with the football. It is loose. It's going to be recovered by Kent, each team with one turnover, as L.D. Hartman out of Warren, Ohio. His real name is Leon, the senior, on the fumble recovery.
Well, big play for Kent State as Central Michigan was moving the ball through the air, throwing something different at Kent State. But again, the turnover, a big play for Kent State. Now the momentum shifts the other way.
Greg, both these teams have been worried about the turnovers, and Kent especially. Consider this. They have not scored at all in the first quarter. They scored 30 points in the first half, and 20 of those came in one game. Full house I formation this time. As Oliveira stayed in, here's Wilkerson up to about the 22-yard line. The line of scrimmage was 20. As Dave Deletka is in on the tackle, the 6'3 junior.
Kent State's offense really gets going in the second half, and it just takes them a while to feel out the opposing defenses here. We'll see if Kent State can get on the board here early in the first quarter, maybe in the first half, put some points on the board. But I'll tell you one thing, I was very impressed with Central Michigan kind of turning up the passing game in the last series.
Oliveira and Andre Palmer are now in the game. Oliveira is in motion on 2nd and 8. Here's Wilkerson, and boy, they know he's coming. Jimmy Williams cleaned up after Craig Allen, an outside linebacker, the 6'2 senior, came in on the initial stop.
Well, it appears right now, Jim, that Central Michigan is keying on Eric Wilkerson, and they're not really worried about all of the other weapons that Patrick Young can use. They're going to say, all right, we're going to stop Eric Wilkerson, and then if you want to do something else, we'll worry about that. And right now, Kent State keeps going to Eric Wilkerson.
3rd and 7. Oliveira and Todd Kinder are into the ball game. Patrick Young on the option. Oh, he is met right away by Mark Dennis, the 6'2 senior outside linebacker, who's had a couple of big plays, including the fumble recovery.
Yeah, he met him right about 2 yards past the line of scrimmage there and literally spilled him on the ground.
So here's Andy Logan, who had a terrible first punt, a low-line drive. And it's another low-line drive. Muddy fields it at about his 41. And the kicking game continues to play Kent. It was a downfall last week at Kentucky that put them in a deep hole. And once again, Central with good field position with 5 minutes and 11 seconds to play in the first quarter. Central up by 7.
Mid-American Conference sports fans can now follow all the Big Mac action with a subscription to the Mac Bulletin. The Bulletin is an independent newspaper published 25 times per year, weekly during football and basketball seasons, plus an issue in December and a summer issue. A one-year subscription to the Mac Bulletin is only $20. That's 25 issues for $20, less than $1 per issue. To subscribe, send a check or money order to the Mac Bulletin, Box 427, Bellevue, Ohio, 44811.
True Value hardware stores know that discriminating cooks rely on quality Miro cookware. Cook light and clean easy with the Miro non-stick sauté set. Get both the 10 and 12-inch pans for just $14.88. Then prepare meats to perfection with the Miro aluminum roaster with cover and rack. It's just $19.97. And protect non-stick cookware from scratching with Great Cook's new coated metal kitchen tools. They're just 99 cents each at participating True Value hardware stores and home centers.
With 5 minutes and 11 seconds to play, Central Michigan, Greg, for the third straight time, has excellent field position.
Well, Andy Logan has gotten off 2 bad punts, and the bottom line is if they don't get better punting this afternoon from Andy Logan or whomever they put in there, Kent State could be in real trouble.
Each team with 1 turnover. Central Michigan at their own 46 is John Hood into the secondary, and he's down at the Kent 46-yard line as once again strong safety J.D. Barnes out of Zanesville, Ohio, in on the stop.
Can't let your safeties make all the tackles. If that happens, then you know you're not playing very well defensively. Last week you rushed for 112 yards versus Montana State.
And Hood and Wilkerson, both first-team All-MAC players. 2nd and 2. Connolly, the fullback, should have the first down at the Kent 43. Burt Widener out of Eden, New York, the senior, and a definite pro prospect, in on the stop.
L.D. Hartman also in on the stop. It's a play designed just to get you a yard and a half, enough for the first down, and that's what they did. Simple fullback, push play, first down, Central Michigan.
The Chippewas now have 4 first downs in the first quarter. They now 1st and 10 from the Kent 43. Fender to Hood. Great speed to the outside, and Eric Timko finally slowed him down at around the 38-yard line.
Well, that is outstanding speed, and Kent State's going to have to make those tackles. They had a shot at him at the line of scrimmage, actually about 2 yards behind the line of scrimmage. Watch it here now as he gets the ball, and he's just about to turn it outside. Missed tackle there, and once you turn it upfield, he could go a long, long way. Slashing speed runners Central Michigan has.
2nd and 5 from the Kent 38. Hood again. He drives into J.D. Barnes near the first down. We'll see where they spot it. It appears from my angle to be short by, what, half a yard? You're the inch guy here.
He's short for about maybe 2 feet.
We'll hold you to that.
No, we'll make it 1.5 feet.
Now you're hedging. All right, short. He's short. What's your call, Greg? It's 3rd and short. Would you take a shot at throwing? Because you could have the extra down here if you want.
No, I think I would just run the ball at this point, Jim. You got a situation where now you're running effectively. You've passed effectively in the last series. The turnover gave the ball back to Kent State University. I gotta believe that they're just going to go and get the safe first down, and it gives them a lot of room to maneuver here deep inside Kent State's territory.
So it's 3rd and about 1.5 feet.
And after all that, we'll see if I'm right.
Central just over the 34-yard line. Interesting, Bender is directing Reed. But they're going to give it to Conley. A penalty marker's down. He has the first down at the 29, but a flag is down on the near side of the field. Bert Widener in on the stop.
Yeah, some illegal procedure there. There may have been a man in motion. Yep, man in motion, and it'll bring it back 5 yards.
Second penalty now for 10 yards combined against the Chippewas.
Illegal motion, offense, third down.
Central Michigan just jumped the gun a little bit on that play. It was a good play, but they moved just about a half second before the snap.
Now we're down in 2-down territory. It's 3rd and 5. The ball just outside the Kent 38. As this capacity plus crowd sitting up on the knoll and everywhere else in this building wants to see what's going to happen right here. Bender can't find anyone. Now dumps it incomplete. And here comes a late flag. Pass interference will be the call on L.D. Hartman of Kent.
It was close, Jim, but Hartman went over the back, and that drew the flag.
Boy, Bender got away with one there, though, because he threw that into a crowd.
That's right. Good protection. He had good protection and then had to scramble. Watch it here as he throws the ball, gets out of the way. See, one scramble play here, and yeah, the little bump.
Pass
it was
interference,
a good call.
Defense, first down.
First Kent penalty, but it's a biggie. 15 yards. And another first down for Central, their 5th. Thank you very much.
They were just waving at John LaChance there.
Why would you? First and 10 now. Central at the Kent 30. John Hood. Gain of about 1 on the play. Paul Haynes, a free safety, and Andrew Harmon, an outside linebacker there for Kent. As Herb Duramity knows, Greg, they'd better take advantage of this field position.
Well, that's excellent field position. You'd think you'd like to get another 7 points on the board. Darnell Rush now in there for Central Michigan.
And it's interesting, they're going to split him out.
Yeah, he's a wide receiver to the right.
3 wideouts, only 1 man in the backfield. Something a little different here from the Chippewas. 2nd and 9 from the Kent 29. Bender under pressure. He's going to be nailed. Football is loose. And he's dribbling it. It's picked up by one of the Kent men, and they're rolling it. He's down. And it'll be Kent's ball at the Central 45-yard line.
Oh, my, Jim. I'm telling you, it was a broken play to begin with. Fake to a running back. Actually, I think he wanted to hand off. The running back wasn't there.
Joe Technip in on this tackle.
I think they were trying to reverse on that play, and somebody misread the call. How could you misread a reverse play? I mean, they had no idea that was coming off, and it looked like a simple reverse play, and nobody went in motion.
Bert Widener in on the fumble recovery, the right tackle. 2 turnovers, Central, 1 Kent. Both teams were worried about now Kent. 1st and 10, a penalty marker as they're at the Central 45. Patrick Young to the 40. Let's see what the flag is. 1:42 remains here in the first quarter.
Offside on Central Michigan, so it's another break for Kent State University. Going back to that turnover on that play, Jim, I have no idea why that happened. Obviously, it's one of those plays that you work on in practice, and you say, here, guys, this is our reverse play, and they had no idea what was coming off.
In the NFL, that would have been in the grasp.
Herb Duramity's probably saying to himself,
offsides, first down.
The blackboard last week, fellas, and what happened? Actually, I don't think he's as calm as that explanation.
3rd penalty on Central Michigan. 1:40 left, first quarter. It's 1st and 5 now. Kent at the Central 40. Wilkerson, straight handoff. Late penalty flag near the top of your picture. George Rickham stricken on the tackle. Let's check in now with John LaChance.
All right, as you know, we alluded to it last week. I'm a Central Michigan grad. I got out of here in '86. Brenda upstairs, he graduated from Kent State around the Stone Age with Brenda and Barney. I've been hearing stuff from Brenda all week long. You're in my home now.
Wait a minute. As the referee of this, your rebuttal, Mr. Brenda?
I couldn't understand him.
Well, here's something you can easily understand. 15 yards on Kent.
Offense, first down.
That's 2 major penalties now on Kent.
Jim, for the first part of this first quarter, and it's winding down with just about a minute to play, we've seen some pretty sloppy football. We've seen Central Michigan blow a couple of opportunities to really put a lot of points on the board here. They have literally kept Kent State in the ball game.
First and 15, Kent at the 50. Wilkerson nailed in the backfield. George Rickham, the inside linebacker out of Detroit, made the play. The 6', 115-pound senior.
And Wilkerson is down. He is hurt. And the Kent State trainers are out there. He really got crushed. They knew what was going on. Let's watch it again here. As he's trying to get to the outside, the pursuit is there, and oh, what a tackle. Right around the knee, and I think he caught him right on the knee.
Everyone at Kent State University is holding their breath. P.J. Allen will come into the lineup.
It's obvious that Wilkerson is in great pain right now. The tackle was right around the knee.
P.J. Allen, a freshman out of Euclid, who's had only 7 carries this year, will come into the lineup. Now you have to wonder, what does this do to Kent's option to Wilkerson offense?
Well, it all depends on just how much work P.J. Allen has gotten in practice over the last couple of weeks. But it looks as Wilkerson is walking all right now. And that's a good sign that he left the field under his own power.
Another loss on the play of 4. It's 2nd and 19, 42 seconds remaining here in the first quarter. Kent at their own 46. They're going backwards. Young looking deep for Andre Palmer. He can't hang on. Right in his hands. And Ken Strong was there in coverage.
Well, it wasn't a bad pass, Jim. In fact, he should have had the ball. He just lets it fly here. He's got position, leaps, and just stuck his hand in there. But the pass was right out of the numbers. That's the kind of catch you have to make.
So we now have Aaron Kinnebrew in at tailback behind Ray Carosha at fullback. 30 seconds. Here's Kinnebrew up to the 47 on 3rd down and 19 from the 46. It's going to be a punt, and frankly, this whole series could go down as the disaster of the season for Kent, depending upon Wilkerson's help.
Well, I'm watching him on the sidelines here, Jim, and he's walking it off. I think Wilkerson will be back. They haven't taken his knee pads off. They haven't examined the knee. So with that situation in mind, you got to believe that he'll be back in the ballgame.
Clock stops with 25 seconds remaining, and Kent huddling on the near sideline. Now it is interesting, Andy Logan has had 2 bad punts. The option is to go to Eric Nichols, the backup punter in this situation. But so far it appears as though Logan will stay in and punt. Now here he comes.
Jim, it's not that he's gotten a lot of pressure, he's just hit 2 bad punts.
So with 25 seconds left in the first quarter, Logan in the punt. The line of scrimmage, the 47. L.D. Muddy back in solo safety. Although Steve Krull is up at the 36-yard line if it's another short punt. High snap over his head. Let's see if he can get it off. He's got time. He does. It's a horrible punt, but under pressure. A lousy snap from center that time. John Creel was the snapper, and it was well over the head of Logan. Logan, and then he shanked it to boot. And the Kent punting is a disaster today.
Well, this one went right over his head. Luckily, it was a true bounce, and he had a chance just to get some kind of a punt off. Not a very good punt, but he can't fault the punter on that one.
So Kent started, remember, at the Central Michigan 40. Look where Central Michigan gets the ball, at the Kent 42. This is what cost Kent the last couple. Here's Darnell Rush into the secondary, breaks the tackle, and is finally hauled down at the 28-yard line by J.D. Barnes again.
Well, we've called J.D. Barnes' name a lot this afternoon, which means Central Michigan is getting their tailbacks into the secondary of Kent State University. And right now, Kent State University has a lot of problems. And the fortunate thing for them, there's just 7 points behind Central Michigan at this point.
And we end the first quarter. What a wild one. Full of turnovers, injuries, you name it, we've had it. At the end of one, Central Michigan 7, Kent State University nothing.
Presenting a once-in-a-lifetime experience for Mid-American Conference football fans, the California Bowl. Saturday, December 10th, your opportunity to treat yourself to America's first bowl game of the season as the champions of your Mid-American Conference meet the best of the Big West. Truly a battle of champions fight for life, where heroes emerge to help children win their personal battles. Treat yourself to California in December. It's all there. Winter sports, relaxed elegance, unrestrained excitement. Enjoy the unsurpassed hospitality of Fresno, the fastest growing city in California, as it proudly hosts Cal Bowl 8. Fresno, California. So much, so close. The California Bowl, December 10th. Cheer on your MAC champions in person. Call now to reserve your tickets. 1-800-543-8488.
If you're a sports fan, whether you live in Michigan or anywhere in the United States, you should subscribe to this magazine, Sports Fans Journal, and here's how. Our columns include Ernie Harwell, George Kell, Don Cherry, George Allen, Denny McClain, Jim Northrup, Bob Feller, Dick Vitale. Also more stars and features and profiles. For more information, call 24 hours a day, 751-1818. Sports Fans Journal is available at newsstands and bookstores and Tiger Stadium souvenir stands. Call 751-1818.
Sorry, Alex. You know the rules, buddy. Let me have a Joe's Pat. About my monthly tab. Seems really high.
No, that's right.
Looks high to me.
Maybe you shouldn't let your buddy use it.
My buddy.
Brown hair, wears it long.
Is he short?
Yeah, talks funny, too.
Woof.
Says that a lot.
Stroh's, fire brewed for smooth, consistent taste.
Eats the peanuts right out of the bowl, too.
Next Saturday, the Mid-American Conference Game of the Week travels back down to Oxford, Ohio, as the Redskins of Miami University try to get on track in '88 as they'll face Western Michigan. As you see Darnell Rush in on the play. Just to finish that, game time will be 12:30 next week. Check your local listings. That's next Saturday right here on the MAC Game of the Week. The Western Michigan Broncos taking on the Redskins of Miami. Now, after the 2-yard gain, it's 2nd and 8. Ball is on the 26-yard line of Kent. 7-0 Central Michigan. Here's Darnell Rush to the outside and is down at about the 18-yard line. Now let's check in on the Eric Wilkerson situation with John LaChance.
All right, had a chance to go over the talk with Eric himself and the training staff. Seems like he has a slight strain on the inside of that left knee after that tackle. He'll be back in later in the game.
Thank you, John. So that sets up a 3rd and 1. The ball will be spotted at the 19 of Kent.
I think Eric Wilkerson is just anxious to get back in the ball game like right now.
6 first downs for Central Michigan. And here's Darnell Rush. He'll have the first down and more as he leans down inside the 14-yard line where J.B. Howell made the stop. The senior out of Massillon last year, a second-team All-Mid-American Conference pick.
Well, not only are holes being made by the Central Michigan offensive line, and they're also running that option in the sweep very well. Kent State just not tackling as they should be at this point, and they got to grab those runners.
1st and 10, Central Michigan. Spots the ball at the Kent 13, double wide left. Robert Finch and Muddy. Here's Rush. Dives to the inside where Phil Thompson, the sophomore who got a start today, made the stop.
Todd Reynolds now in at fullback for Central Michigan.
Kentucky.
Right now they're alternating fullbacks.
Just a score that we got in Kentucky, leading Alabama by a score of 10-0. And so it is 2nd down. Call it 10, again from the Kent 13. Bender to throw. Throws, he's got Darnell Rush, he's down at the 6-yard line. Eric Timko, who for this game moved to the inside linebacker slot, the senior in on the stop.
Now the freshman Darnell Rush getting to see a lot of action this afternoon. Watch it here, little fake inside. He's the primary receiver as he looks and crosses right over the middle for a...
That was a good catch. That ball was behind him again.
Yeah, it was a good game on the play.
It's Billy Smith at fullback with both tailbacks Hood and Rush in. Here's the option. Bender on the keeper, and he's down about the 5 on 3rd and 2, but he appears to be short from here of the first down. He had to get to about the 3.5, and here comes the kicking unit.
Yeah, I don't think he made it. Tony Wells in on the tackle for Kent State. Good defensive play.
Central with 7 first downs now. And so it'll be Kevin Nickel in to kick. The holder is the holder puts it up and puts it through. So, with 11 minutes, 30 seconds remaining in the first half, Central Michigan increases their lead to 10-0. Again, for Central Michigan, they're up 10-0 as he's just hit a 22-yard field goal with 11.5 minutes left here in the first half. As the ball bounces wildly, it's picked up by Aaron Kennebrew up the middle and down at about the 27-yard line as it's Chris Thompson in on the stop.
Well, Kennebrew found a good seam up the middle. Got some pretty good yardage on that. There is a stiff breeze blowing in down on the field, and maybe a partial defense to Andy Logan's punting, but the fact of the matter is that Logan has to get some more loft into it.
There's that interesting score from the Southeastern Conference. Kentucky, who's been hot of late, up 10-0 over the favorite Alabama. There's Patrick Young, Eric Wilkerson back into the lineup, and he's out of bounds at about the 35-yard line as George Rickenstrick in on the stop.
Well, that's good news for Kent State Golden Flash fans, because to lose a guy like Eric Wilkerson, you're taking a lot of their offense out of the game. And as again, a slight knee sprain, so apparently it's just not bothering him that much at this point. Be interesting to see how long he can play through the remainder of the contest.
2nd and 2 from the 35 of Kent, and there he goes again. Craig Allen knocked down Eric Wilkerson. Allen, the senior, 6'2", 230-pounder, and now it'll be 3rd down. And they'll call it about 4 on the play.
They're running it to the short side of the field, and Wilkerson just couldn't turn it upfield. And perhaps the knee is bothering him enough to perhaps prevent him from that burst of speed he needs to turn it upfield.
Herman Oliveira to the top of your picture on the Todd Kinder. Here's Wilkerson. I can't believe they went that way. As he crosses about the 36-yard line, as Scott Alferink, a second-team All-MAC player, is in on the stop, and Kent's going to be short again, it appears.
That was indeed an interesting call. They gained just about a yard on that. They still need a yard and a half for a first down. And you made a very good observation earlier, Jim. I think Kent State is just going to have to diversify their offense.
Here's the punt again. Logan in. That time he got one up in the air. Kind of a line drive, but better than spin. And L.J. Muddy falls on the football at the 24 for Central Michigan, where they'll take over 1st and 10 with 10 minutes, 10 seconds remaining. 10's across the board. It's 10-0 Central. Greg, so far I would have to say this. This has been a very bad performance once again by Kent. Why they can't get going in the first half and usually in the first quarter beats me to death because the talent is there.
Well, we've had some sloppy play to begin with, Jim, and I'll tell you one thing. Again, Kent's going to have to diversify their offense, and they're going to have to tackle better on defense.
Central 1st and 10 now. There is Billy Smith into the ball game, up to about the 33-yard line. Now let's check out an update on the injuries with John LaChance.
All right, Billy Smith's in the game because Joe Connolly's back in the locker room. They're checking one of his knees right now. This is the first time we've seen artificial turf this year, and it's playing havoc on the players.
Let's update you now on the scoreboard situation. Western, who we will see next week at Miami, up 7-0. That team is one of the upstarts that could be a contender the way it figures. Back to the action on 2nd and 1. Bender on the keeper, and he has lots of company, but he has a first down. By my stats, that's the 8th first down to only 2 for Kent. First and 10 now for Central Michigan. That is their 8th first down. As I mentioned, they're at their own 38. Here's John Hood. And L.D. Hartman out of Warren, Ohio, the senior, made the stop. No gain on the play. You know, Greg, it's been very interesting how bad Kent has been on artificial turf this year. They are 2-23 in their last 25 games, for whatever reason. 2nd down, call it 10 again from the 38. Bender over the middle, and somehow he got it. I don't believe that to Mark Harmon. Eric Timko was standing right there looking awfully hungry, but it's a first down for the Chippewas of Central Michigan.
Talk about splitting the seam. He did it there. Great protection on the rollout, and again, just, boy, threaded the needle on that play. Watch this. You just couldn't thread the needle any more than that.
He had to throw it behind him.
That's right. And I don't know the reason about the lack of success on artificial turf. I don't think it should have anything to do with the running attack with Young and Wilkerson. I don't think artificial turf should make any difference.
First and 10 for Central Michigan at their own 49, and getting up to around the 47 was John Hood. Andy Krupa in the game now at middle guard. The freshman out of Centerville, Ohio, in on the stop.
Well, right now, the Central Michigan Chippewas are taking the momentum right out of the Golden Flashes here in the first half. In fact, Kent State has established no momentum, while Central Michigan's offense has been out of the field a long time.
2nd and 8, Chippewas of Central Michigan. At the 47 of Kent, I think we're going to see a pass. Wrong again, Darnell Rush. He is down to about the 43-yard line as, again, Hartman, the inside linebacker, on the stop.
Central Michigan is diversing their offensive attack enough to really keep the Kent State linebackers. They're freezing their linebackers for a split second. That's enabling the rushing attack to be even more prominent than it was earlier in the game. Bender's 5 out of 6 so far, and I don't think Kent State expected Central Michigan to throw the ball as much as they have thrown already.
3rd and 4 from the Kent 43. Here's Rush wide open. He's going to get the first down at about the 36-yard line as Jamie Howell and Eric Timko are in on the stop.
Trying to pick up that coverage on the outside there. That was a great call to Darnell Rush, and boy, is he seeing a lot of action today.
First and 10, the 9th first down so far unofficially for Central Michigan. 6:44 left first half. Central ahead 10-0, and they have frankly dominated this game. Here's Rush again. Hartman is in on the stop along with Howell as he gets up to about 31.
And the interesting thing, Jim, is that Donnie Riley hasn't played.
Well, he got hurt last week, and they thought he would play today, but so far, no reason for him to play. We saw Conley come back into the lineup there briefly.
It's not that he's hurt enough not to play. He practiced all week so he can play. And again, you got the MAC rushing leader at 143 yards per game sitting on the bench.
2nd and 5 from the 31. And there's Billy Smith in at fullback to the 26-yard line. And that is going to be close to a first down.
Andy Harmon on the tackle there. And right now, Central Michigan is playing three kinds of offenses. They're playing a power game, they're playing their slashing game, and they're also passing the ball well. And everything is in sync and everything working well now for Central Michigan. They just got to keep from turning over the ball, especially now deep in Kent State's territory.
It just joined us. This is Central Michigan's MAC opener. They're 2-1 on the season. Kent is 0-1, having lost to Eastern Michigan in the MAC, 2-2 overall. 3rd and 1. Here's Hood for the first down as he drives to about the 8-yard line. And again, cornerback Jamie Howell and right tackle Bert Widener in on the stop. But that's first down number 10 for Central Michigan.
You just got to love Central Michigan's offensive game plan so far. They have really mixed it up well. And Kent State doesn't really know how to react to what they see at this point.
Ken Ely, Robert Kitcher split wide. Bender on the keeper. And he drives down inside the 5 to the 4-yard line as he got in a wrestling match with Andrew Harmon and J.D. Barnes.
That was indeed a wrestling match.
That's another first down, number 11 unofficially.
1, 2, 1.
Here we watch the outside, and they just pushed them down.
They said it was not a first down. They didn't even measure that. It's 2nd and 1. 3 down. Here's Hood. Sneaks down to about the 2. That is a first down. This time, it'll be first and goal for Central. They lead at 10-0 with 4:17 left here in the first half.
I'll tell you one thing. Central Michigan is getting great inside blocking.
I must tell you, folks, I am shocked at the domination of the Chippewas here. We knew Kent had trouble on the road and on artificial turf, but they have really had it all against them. As it's first and goal from the 2, it's Smith with Riley and Hood. There's Hood. Touchdown! Kevin Nickel will come in for the extra point. Todd Winters is the holder, and it is good. So John Hood has his second touchdown of the day, this time from 2 yards out. And with 3:52 left in the first half, this has been a surprise as Central leads 17-0. Here's a look now at the touchdown by John Hood.
Just a simple inside play, off-tackle blocking, right up the middle. Look at that hole, touchdown. That's how they design it in the playbooks, Jim.
Kevin Nickel, the kickoff, even LaChance could have scored on that one. And now Kent falls on the football, and it was number 53, Joe Headley, an outside linebacker out of Alliance, decided, well, we'll just hang on. What a disaster this first half has been for Kent.
Well, they're just out of sync. They just haven't been able to do anything well offensively, defensively. They've turned the ball over. They've had bad punts. And it's just that they have to find some kind of momentum here with a little less than 4 minutes to play in the first half. Can they find it is the big question.
Kent at their own 22. Patrick Young going to run on his own. Whoa! I hope Patrick has insurance.
Durand Robertson upended him at the 25-yard line. Also helped there by Rich Curtis. Here it is again, and he was keeping the ball all the way as he's going to the far side of the field. He's looking for a block. Gets the block there, but not enough. It slowed him down.
Gain of 3, 2nd and 7. Kent from the 25. Patrick Young looking to throw. There it is, and short. He went for Furman Oliveira, and Patrick Young is getting into one of the defensive linemen on the play. Durand Robertson, Ken Strong on the stop, and we're going to have a little exchange of words here.
Well, that was a bad pass. He was on the run looking for Oliveira on the outside and just kind of threw it too low. In fact, I think he might have just wanted to get rid of the ball. He was under a lot of pressure.
Patrick Young this season coming into the game is 20 of 45 passes, 1 interception, 3 touchdowns, 2 of them normally to starting tight end Mark Cunningham, but he's not even in the game.
3rd in passing efficiency in the MAC so far.
3rd and 7th. And Young may have to put it up. He does, and it is caught by Furman Oliveira. First down, Kent, only their 3rd of the game, first in the 2nd quarter.
Well, that was executed like they do it in the playbook, and I like saying that because that's how they draw it up. Watch this. Just a simple turn outside while Young is trailing to the outside. He's throwing the ball even before he makes his cut. Great body movement to keep the feet in bounds.
First down, Kent at their own 37, trailing 17-0 with 3.5 minutes to play first half. Here's Young, the little dump, and it is complete. Lost the football, but they say he's down. They said he was down. It is a completed pass to Mark Cunningham, who returned to the lineup at tight end.
Durand Robertson on the tackle there, and the whistle blew as soon as the knees touched the ground. Close, but a good call by the officials. Watch it again. As he rolls to the outside, just a little pass out there. He's got the ball. There's the tackle. Ball is down. He's down.
Brown cannot cause a fumble. It's 2nd and 6. Kent at their own 42. Young will keep it. Oh, Patrick. I'll tell you, I don't know how he did that as Mark Dennis was all over him like flypaper, but somehow he managed to keep his feet.
I'll tell you one thing here in this first half, Jim. Patrick Young has run a long way. Unfortunately, he's running sideline to sideline, and he's not running up and down the field.
It's 3rd and 6. Now watch, it's almost a face mask here.
There's a little grab. Grabs him right there. Grabbed him around the shoulders. Finally got him down.
All right, resuming action, 3rd and 6. Here's Wilkerson on the draw. I don't think he has the first down. It's going to be close.
He was stood up about a yard short by David Johnson. Now, what do you do here?
Well, they're going to measure, I believe, first. 2:32 remaining, first half. You know, the Kent people told us, Greg, before this game, they had to come out fired up. And they made that first fumble, and from that moment on, it has not been a good offensive show. And let's see where the chains go here. It's going to be short.
Well, Jim, those kinds of things really take the wind out of your sail. You know, a turnover that early in a ball game, which results in points, really can take the spark out of a team set to really do a job. And you're right, they really haven't recovered since then. 4th down play, 2 minutes and 32 seconds to play here in the first half. They're going to punt. They're going to play it safe. I don't blame them.
Andy Logan, the last time, got a better kickoff after 2, well, let's be honest, horrible, long, low line drive kicks.
That wind is really picking up right down on the field, but he'll have the wind to his back in this situation.
Line is scrimmage, the 46. The block might be on here by Central. Short snap to Ray Caroscia. He didn't get it, I don't think. They snapped it to the short man, Caroscia, normally the starting fullback. Boy, it depends on that lean and where they spot it. I don't think he made it.
Jim, I don't think he made it either. He tried to lean and tried to put the ball as far up as possible. Kurt Paulway on the tackle.
What I didn't like about that play is he was so close to the line, he didn't have a chance. I mean, he had no movement laterally to go to, and he had no steam.
Oh, if they made it, it's by an inch. If they didn't, they missed it by about 2 inches.
So wow. Kent State University keeps putting nails in their own coffin. We've got a long way to go, but you don't see many games like you saw Monday night in the pros where you have 24-0. We'll be back, 2:28 to play, and Central again on a 4th and 1. And so at the half, by the way, we'll have the Dan Marley story, which is quite interesting. Meanwhile, back to live action, it's John Hood on the carry, as L.D. Hartman is in on the stop, as Central started out at the Kent 47 after that aborted punt play on the snap to the short man.
We talked about momentum. Here may be a chance for Kent State to get some kind of momentum if they can stop Central Michigan's offense here late in the first half. They're going to have to do it. Central Michigan put some more points on the board. It's going to be a long second half for Kent State. Let's see what the defense does right now.
2nd and 7 from the Kent 44, and it's John Hood. Near the first down, appeared to bounce short of it. By the way, while we have a moment, we'll be talking about Dan Marley, a Central Michigan grad at the half who played on the Olympic basketball team. Also, congratulations to a Bowling Green alum, a guy by the name of Oral Hershiser, who this week broke Don Drysdale's scoreless consecutive inning streak of 58 2/3 as he went 59 and went 10 innings to do it. 3rd and 2. Conley did not get the first down. And so it'll be 4th down for Central Michigan.
Well, again, something positive for Kent State here late in the first half, stopping now Central Michigan's defense. You got to believe, though, that Central Michigan will go for it. I would, because they've stopped Kent State's offense. But they're not going to do it. I don't understand that one right here, Jim. You know, they stopped the offense for Kent all afternoon. I tried because Kent would get the ball with only about a minute to play.
You saw the time remaining first half. Central up 17-0. This is the punting unit on. We'll see if they might try some chicanery. It's 4th and less than a yard. Yep, they try to draw him offside, no go. Which really doesn't hurt the punter in this situation. Now I can boom it a little bit. Furman Oliveira, the lone man back deep for Kent. This is the first punt for Central Michigan as it's Todd Winters in to do the punting.
He'll be punting into the wind, and we'll see if he has enough foot to get it through this wind, and maybe the wind will play a factor in this ball game from a punting situation. Andy Logan had all kinds of problems with his first 2 punts. We'll see if he can get one away.
Line of scrimmage is the Kent 38. Again, it's 4th and less than a yard. And the wind is right in his face. He'll take his time, and Winters gets it off. Oliveira let it slide. Goes out of bounds. Very nicely at about the 12-yard line. And Kent has 57 seconds to do something here in the first half.
I'm sure Kent State would like to get some points on the board, Jim, but again, they don't want to turn the ball over. Now, as I said at the beginning of the show, Central Michigan is #1 in rushing defense, and right now they're proving that they can stop a pretty potent rushing offense in that of Kent.
Furman Oliveira is split way out to the left side. Patrick Young, the draw at Eric Wilkerson. What a surprise. He lost the football. We'll see if he's marked down or not. Central ball. And James Williams on the recovery. Can you believe this?
Steve Gruhl got the ball away. Big play for Steve Gruhl of Central Michigan.
Well, Kent has been, to be very honest about it, very sloppy with the football. 2 fumbles, bad snap on a punt, 2 low punts. What else can they do wrong? 48 seconds remains first half. Central leading 17-0. And they could really stick it to the Golden Flashes here. They start at the Kent 14. Bender wants it all. It's Lamar Carmen, the tight end, out of bounds at about the 11-yard line. Short gain, it stops the clock with 43 seconds left in the first half.
John Jackson in on the tackle, and Central Michigan has a lot of time to play with. They're now on the 11-yard line, and boy, I'll tell you, Kent State has to be feeling the effects of not playing good, sound, fundamental football here in the first half. Should be an interesting halftime conversation with Mr. Crum and his team.
2nd and 6. That last play was to Hopkins, the tight end. Here's Hood trying for touchdown number 3 as he gets down to the 4-yard line. And again, John Jackson, the sophomore and quarterback, in on the stop. And it'll be a timeout for Central Michigan here. 34 seconds remains in the first half.
Quick opener up the middle. Got him some good yardage on that. I'll tell you one thing. Central Michigan's blocking scheme, very good here in the first half. They're opening up some big holes up the middle. And Kent State obviously looking at the outside rushing ability of Central Michigan, and they're putting their linebackers are kind of cheating towards the sidelines. And when you're cheating that way, you're making some big holes up the middle.
Each team with 2 turnovers. Let us remind you, next Saturday, Master Video's MAC Game of the Week continues when the Broncos of Western Michigan travel south to meet the Miami University Redskins. Coverage will start at 12:30 Eastern live. That's next Saturday on the MAC Game of the Week. 34 seconds remains here in the first half. Central Michigan up 17-0. 3rd and 1 from the Kent 4. Bender throwing. Touchdown, John Hood. His 3rd of the game. Kevin Nickel in to kick the extra point. He's getting a lot of practice. It is good, and with 29 seconds remaining here in the first half, 3 John Hood touchdowns, 2 via the rush, and now taking a 4-yard pass from Jeff Bender.
Well, look at John Hood here. He's going to the outside. He's just going to the corner of the end zone. Turns when the ball is in the air for a touchdown. He was the receiver on the way. Wasn't involved in any of the play action. He just went out for the pass, and Kent State was slow in getting to him and getting the coverage on him. Well, I'll tell you one thing, Jim. Kent State's defense is a little bewildered and befuddled right now, and you got to imagine the whole team is looking at this situation saying, what has gone wrong? They've come off of 2 tough losses after 2 impressive wins to start the season. Now you have a situation in their second MAC game. They're down 24-0. It's not helping the confidence of the Golden Flashes right now. Central Michigan has got to be riding sky high.
John Hood, who's come back from injury this year, now has 5 TDs on the season. And everybody you talk to expected a close game. Thus far, it's been all Chippewas. Here's Kevin Nichols' kick. As you would expect, a low-line drive. Aaron Kennebrew at his 14. And he runs right into traffic at the 30, and so with 23 seconds left, Kent gets the ball. Will probably try to sit on it, as it was Richard Croft in on the stop for Central Michigan.
Well, now they should sit on it. With 23 seconds to play, you might as well just end the half, go back, collect yourselves, talk about what happened in the first half, try to find a way to get some points on the board, to get some offensive momentum going on and going into the second half. And right now, Central Michigan has thoroughly dominated this football game.
They faked it that time to P.J. Allen, and here's Young, who's going to go out of bounds. They are trying to get something to go. Clock stops with 16 seconds remaining. Steve Gruen on the stop, but let's point out something right now. 2 Eric Wilkerson fumbles that cost them. None more than the last one, because that's a draw play. It's a safe play. You never should fumble on a play like that.
Now the 2 dropped the 2 fumbles, the 2 poor punts. In fact, Central Michigan didn't capitalize on 1 turnover, and the score could be, it actually could be 31-0 at this point.
Kent on 2nd and 7 from their own 33. 13 seconds remain. by Ken Strong, the cornerback. Well, that's turnover number 3 for Kent.
It was not a very good pass. Ken Strong read it very, very well and was in great position to make the interception. Watch it here again. Patrick Young just trying to make a big play. He's just trying to do something, throws it to the outside. Wow, great read. Bad pass, threw it behind his receiver. Now, you try for the Hail Mary and try for one more score.
10 seconds remains. Central has called a timeout. I'll tell you what, if I was Kent, I would be shaking in my boots the way things are going for Central. A Hail Mary might just score here. The wind is right in the face of the kickers, so we'll have to wait and see. As Darnell Rush has left early to go to the locker room for Central Michigan. 2 wide receivers, Eric Reed and L.J. Muddy, are split to the left.
How about a run to the near side of the field on the short side?
How about a throw to the tight end on the short side, Hopkins? They gave it right up the middle instead. And it was Billy Smith with 4, 3, 2. And I'm surprised at that call. But it doesn't really matter at the moment because Central Michigan's going to walk off this field leading 24-0. No bigger surprise could any of us up here in the booth have. It's been a shocker to say the least. Let's check in now with John LaChance.
All right, Coach Romney, strong first half, both offensively and defensively.
Well, it's going to be important, John, that we're able to keep that type of momentum because every ball game that we've seen, Kent State has been the type of football team to put points on the board in the second half. So we've got to play in that second half the same type of solid football that we played for the first 30 minutes.
Speaking about second halves, last year, 14 points lead.
Hey, don't talk about that one. We're just going to go play football.
All right,
John.
best of luck in the second half.
Right.
Guys?
Okay, Coach Dramedy has to be confident. His team at the half leads at 24-0. We'll have all the halftime activities, including a feature on Dan Marley, the Central Star, when we return after this.
Rock. When Dan Marley graduated from Traverse City High School in northern Michigan, he was dubbed the greatest player ever to play in Traverse City. It was 5 years later in the nickname Thunder. Marley has gone one step further. He's being called one, if not the greatest ever to play at Central Michigan.
Yeah, we were very proud of him. We thought that was real good on his part. But Dan deserves all of the credit because of the fact that he just surpassed everybody's expectations of himself and just went on and on. And
Marley's name is at or near the top of every CMU and MAC Conference single season and career marks. 3-time All-MAC selection, and this past season, honorable mention All-American. It was last June that Danny became better known nationally, first-round draft choice of the Phoenix Suns, 14th player overall in the draft, and then the ultimate honor, selected to the United States basketball team, going to Seoul. Dan's greatest legacy may come after his graduation, as Central Michigan comes to the forefront in basketball recruiting.
Oh, yeah, definitely, because we can tell a kid now that our bottom line is the same as everybody else's bottom line, and that, we may not be on national TV as much as other teams, but when it's all said and done, a kid that comes to Central has just as much chance as a kid who goes anywhere else in the country.
And so Central Michigan has a man, Greg Brina, that has really been outstanding. And really, when you look at the Olympic team, he was the best player, I'd say, overall. Check in now with John LaChance.
All right, Coach Crum, not exactly the first half you'd like to see. Turnovers are key.
Well, we've had 5 turnovers, and you can't, we're lucky that we're only down by 24. Usually you turn the ball over, you're going to be down by more than that. And, we have just not, the backs aren't running in there the way they need to. And we're going to go back to just fundamental football this half and just take the ball and see if we got any courage with the offense.
What about some of that second half, fourth quarter magic that Kent's come up with the last couple of years against Central?
Well, I'm not concerned about that right now. I'm concerned about trying to get these guys to play decent football.
All right, best of luck to you.
Okay, thank you.
Jim?
Well, John, I have to tell you, in all honesty, here in the first half, what we saw was Kent just didn't come out and do much of anything. They fumbled the football. Greg, I think that really says it all.
Well, I think Coach Crum made a great point. They're just not playing good fundamental football. They're not executing well. And if you start to execute well, you're able to create some things. Fumbling is not execution, and therefore you've dug yourself a major hole to get out of. And at this point, Kent State, in the second half, when you're down 24-0, is going to have to come up with some big plays. Wilkerson, Young, Oliveira, they're going to have to make something happen to get some points on the board, not at the end of the third quarter, but early in the third quarter. I think
State University. And once again, Central Michigan will get the football and will try to add to that 24-0 lead. Back deep. John Hood will be in the middle of the pile. Now, Donnie Riley was scheduled to be the other man. We'll see who else is back deep right now for Central. Steinberg's kick is to the short side and is picked up at the 1-yard line. Up the middle and just going down was Maurice Brandon, a freshman out of Detroit, Michigan. It'll be first down for Central Michigan.
Yeah, Maurice came very, very close to breaking it. And not only do you not have the momentum here in the second half, Central Michigan gets the football to start the second half.
First and 10 for the Chippewas of Central Michigan. They're just across the 30-yard line, their own. Connolly and Hood in the backfield. Hood, Bert Widener initially got there, but then L.D. Hartman cleaned up the play. It'll be second down, maybe a gain of 1 on the play.
I'm really interested to see what Central Michigan is going to do offensively here in the second half. Are they going to sit on the lead? Are they going to try to get more points on the board? Again, in the first half, they had a very diversified offense, rushing the ball predominantly, but then picking their spots and throwing the ball effectively. Let's see what happens here in the second half.
They're going to call it second and 10. Option. And Hood turned it into a gain of about 6 on the play as Jeff Stepanek, the tackle, and Philip Thompson were there for Kent State University.
They didn't handle the ball very well on that play. In fact, a little bit of a mix-up on the handoff in the first part, but he got enough for 5 yards.
Look at that time of possession and the turnovers. There's your story.
21-37 for CMU, 8:23 for Kent. And when you're on the field that long of a period of time, you're going to score some points.
3rd and 5. Bender throws, intercepted by L.D. Hartman. And he's down at the 28, and boy, did Kent State University need that one.
Oh, you better believe it, Jim. That is what they were looking for here in the second half, getting a big play, and now they're deep inside Central Michigan's territory.
So Kent will go on offense at the 28. Does this look like the first series turned around after Kent fumbled the ball and gave it right to Central?
Well, I think Dick Crum just told them at the half, hey guys, you're going to have to make some big plays to get our team back in the ball game.
Kent has been a second half team, and they give it to Ray Carosha, the fullback, up to about the 22-yard line as George Rickenstrick, the inside linebacker, made the stop.
Well, Kent State now is going to have to get to 7 points on the board. They need to put a touchdown on the board early here in the third quarter to get them the momentum back and to try to get them back in the ball game. That's what they need, lots of points.
2nd and 4 from the 22 of Central. Here's Wilkerson to the 20-yard line. And he is shy of the first down by about 2 yards. It'll be 3rd and about 2 as J.J. Waringa was in on the stop, the defensive guard.
Interesting that Kent is trying to run it up the gut here in the second half, because in the first half, Central Michigan really played a very good defense stopping their outside rush.
3rd and call it 2. Kent at the Central 20. There's Carosha being very aggressive, getting the first down as he's down at about the, call it 17-yard line. And Kent certainly did not have many first downs in the first half.
Duran Robertson on the tackle there, and you're right, only 3 first downs to Central Michigan's 14. interesting statistic on Patrick Young. Only 2 of 5 in the pass completion category in the first half for 17 yards.
Well, he's right around 40% as usual because he doesn't throw the ball very much. But when he makes the big play, it happens. 1st and 10 now is Wilkerson. Again, they pile on him to about the 17. And, Greg, I go back to that word diversity. I think you're going to have to see that for Kent. They're going to almost, I think, have to get away from Wilkerson at times.
Dave Galetka on the tackle there. I think what Kent State is trying to do now is just execute some simple offensive plays. No fancy stuff. Let's just see if we can run the ball effectively, try to avoid the margin for turnovers, and get some points. Conservative offense, but an offense that they hope to execute well.
2nd and 10 from the 17. Young looked like he was looking for help, but he's going to get nailed in the backfield. Durand Robertson, the strong safety, found Patrick Young to his liking right there. It'll be 3rd and long.
Well, he had no place to go. He didn't have much blocking, and again, it just seems that Central Michigan is saying to Kent State, you go ahead, rush outside, and if you can't find, and if you can't, we're going to stop you. So Kent's having a very, very hard time of getting around in.
3rd and 10 from the 17. Young to put it up, and it's knocked down. It was Craig Allen, the outside linebacker, knocking down that short out pattern, incomplete, and Kent on 4th and 10 from the 17 will go for it.
Good play by Craig Allen. He just stuck his hand up there. It would have been a very good play. Maybe not a first down, but you need those kinds of plays from your linebackers. And again, not only are they stopping the outside rushing attack, they're reading the passing offense well, too.
It's Oliveira and Kinder split out. Kinder to the top of your picture. 4th and 10. Patrick Young needs some help. He throws. Did he catch it in bounds? No, out of bounds. He bobbled the ball, and again, Kent bobbles an opportunity.
Well, it was a good pass to Todd Kinder, but Kinder just muffed it going out of bounds. They needed that on a 4th and 10, and all of a sudden the momentum turns right back around, and it's now in Central Michigan's favor.
So, with 11 minutes and 1 second remaining, 3rd quarter, Kent blows another opportunity. They trail 24-0. With Greg Brenda and John LaChance, I'm Jim Isabella. 1st and 10 for Central Michigan. They lead 24-0 with 11 minutes left here in the 3rd quarter. Here's John Hood to the outside, just shy of the 1st down as he picked up 9 on the play, and J.D. Barnes saved it.
Well, John Hood really turned it up quickly on the outside there, Jim. J.D. Barnes got enough on him to shove him out of bounds, but again, Central Michigan having absolutely no problems at all rushing the ball today. Well, when you're the #1 MAC team in the rush category, and they're proving it this afternoon.
2nd and 1. Connolly will get the 1st down as he gets up to around the 30-yard line. 1st down, number 15 on the day for Central Michigan. And there is a nice group of people who came out to see a good one. 22,108.
And we're starting to get a little rain here right now, Jim, so we'll see if the weather here in the second half plays another factor in this ball game.
1st and 10 for Central at their own 30. As they gave it again into the tailback play, John Hood up to about the 32-yard line. As let's check in now with our sideline man, John LaChance.
All right, guys, the weather has changed a little bit. A slow drizzle that's now currently picking up right now. See a lot of storm clouds moving just to the north here at Clay Short Stadium. We hope it's going to keep moving as it picks up as I speak, but it may be a wet and wild second half. And while I'm down here, ladies, could somebody give me a hot dog, would you mind? Well, anyway, back up to the booth right now.
You don't have to worry about getting one. You are one, John. I've been waiting to do that to him for a week. Here's John Hood. And he's out of bounds after a gain of about 2 or 3 on the play. as it was Philip Thompson, the outside linebacker, in on the stop.
It's very interesting now where Central Michigan is trying to run the ball outside. They're not really interested in getting time off the clock. They're just interested in getting yards. They've been able to rush to the outside against Kent all afternoon, and they're going to keep doing it until Kent stops them.
It is 3rd and 6. Central at their own 34-yard line. Here's John Hood for another first down. That's number 16 on the day, and John Jackson made the stop for Kent.
Great balancing act by John Hood, able to keep his balance and enough to keep him the first down. And again, you're just not getting good tackling on the inside. A good tackle there would have knocked him down before the first down. Watch it here again. He gets the ball, a little opening there, good block, but see, he's off balance and just enough for the first down. You got to slow him up more at the line of scrimmage, and that's what Kent is not doing.
1st and 10 for Central on their own 41-yard line. John Hood, and you can hear everybody yelling, Hood, Hood, Hood down there. Just to panic, Philip Thompson in on the stop for Kent.
Good tackle by Philip Thompson there.
Well, the Mid-American Conference polls seem to be a hex for a lot of teams. Remember, Kent was the preseason favorite, as we alluded to in the opener. And now as the race develops, you can see Western Michigan will go in unblemished in the next week's action. Miami and Ball State just underway. Ball State unbeaten thus far in the entire season. 2nd and 10. Draw to Hood, and a nice play. Andrew Harmon, the outside linebacker from Centerville, Ohio, the sophomore, made the play one-on-one.
Well, Andy Harmon made that play before it ever got started. Had it got started, it could have been for some yardage there, and he got deep into the backfield to break it up. You know, you're looking at total offense coming into the game. Central Michigan was 3rd, Kent 4th, and total defense, Central Michigan 2nd and Kent 3rd. So these teams statistically were very closely matched. I think after this game, there may be a wide margin between Central Michigan and Kent State.
3rd and 10. Bender going for it, and it went right through the hands of Hopkins, but for the umpteenth time, Greg, he threw behind him. It's incomplete.
Yeah,
we have a flag.
He's just not sharp on those passes. He needs to give his receivers a little more lead time. Let's see what the penalty is all about. We got some motion at the wide receiver spot, and that will, well, we'll see what Kent State does here.
Got to take the ball here, I would think.
Illegal motion, offense, decline, 4th down.
4th down.
So, for only the 2nd time in this game, we'll see the punter, Todd Winters, a junior out of Muskegon, Michigan. Furman Oliveira, the lone man back deep for Kent. Line of scrimmage, the 41. 8:01 left. As Jamie Howell tried for the block. Fielded by Oliveira to 29. Had trouble with the football. And he's going to have to go down immediately. And so, we have 7 minutes, 51 seconds remaining here in the 3rd quarter. We'll see if Kent can get it cranked up as they still trail 24-0.
Mid-American Conference sports fans can now follow all the Big Mac action with a subscription to the Mac Bulletin. The Bulletin is an independent newspaper published 25 times per year, weekly during football and basketball seasons, plus an issue in December and a summer issue. A one-year subscription to the Mac Bulletin is only $20. That's 25 issues for $20, less than $1 per issue. To subscribe, send a check or money order to the Mac Bulletin, Box 427, Bellevue, Ohio, 44811.
Wind up and relax with Dosca-Sil cord wheel. It reels and unreels up to 150 feet of extension cords, rope, wire, flat hose, and more in seconds. The Dosca-Sil cord wheel is at Builder Square for just $4.87. Tie up all your loose ends with a little help from Builder Square. We're America's largest home improvement warehouse because the more we sell, the lower the price.
Here in the 3rd quarter at Kent State University, will try to get something going here. Back in the first half, Eric Wilkerson had 13 carries for only 30, count them, 30 yards. Here's the option. Young had nowhere to go. Wilkerson came up too soon, and Craig Allen, the outside linebacker, made the play.
You're absolutely right, Jim. Wilkerson did come up too soon. Young didn't have any option but to keep the football. He could not pitch it out. Watch it here again. He's being trailed. Now, Wilkerson is just too far ahead, and at this point, he has no other option but to keep the football. Great pursuit, though, by Central Michigan. They have really snuffed out that option play this afternoon.
Loss of 1, 2nd and 11. Ken at their own 30. Patrick with all sorts of time throws it. It is caught by Mark Cunningham, the big tight end, and he really stepped out of bounds right about the 40. Kent does not like the spot. It's close to the first down. I think he's going to get it by the nose of the football.
It is very close there, Jim, and boy, I don't know.
Cunningham is 6'6", 232-pound junior out of Tiffin, Ohio. He had, coming into this game, 3 catches, 2 of which were for touchdowns.
Well, they got to bring the chains all the way across the field here to see, and if he did indeed get it, it got it by the nose of the football, and he did. So it is a first down for Kent State.
That's only their 5th unofficially of the ball game.
Well, they still need a big play here, Jim. We've gone midway through the third quarter, and Kent still has not made the big play. Eric Wilkerson, by the way, now has 3,004 career yards rushing. And, of course, he is Kent State's all-time leading rusher, eclipsing Larry Poole's record. And Larry Poole was there when I was there back in the mid-'70s.
He ended up, of course, for years with the Cleveland Browns. As it's 1st and 10, Kent now. Quarterback draw. Patrick Young was very elusive. He got up to the 46-yard line. The line of scrimmage was the 41. Rich Curtis, the inside linebacker, a sophomore out of DeWitt, Michigan, in on the stop.
Well, again, Kent still playing it kind of conservative here in the third quarter. I just think that Dick Crum has emphasized execution, and he says, hey, guys, we can score some points if we just do the things right. But again, the time is not on their side.
2nd and 5, that's going to be a first down for Ray Karosha, the big fullback on the last play, and he's down at the 46 of Central Michigan. We should mention about Patrick Young, Greg. 1 year ago when he went down, some people wondered if he'd ever be back.
Sure, and he's back, and it shows no ill effects of the injury at all. Interesting to see Ray Karosha play this afternoon, too. Patrick Young, 3 of 8 today, no touchdowns, only 28 yards. Getting back to Karosha, had the ankle injury, and now he's back in the lineup, which helps them immensely because they need his talent at fullback.
Here's Oliver in motion. There's Wilkerson. Got an opening. It's a foot race to the end zone. He's got to be strong. He will for the touchdown. And just like that, Eric Wilkerson goes the distance, 46 yards with 6:10 left in the third quarter. And Furman Oliveira was injured as he gave a great block.
Well, that was the block that sprung Wilkerson down the sideline for the touchdown. And this is what Kent State needed. Right now, a touchdown. Watch it again as he gets the ball here, moving to the outside. This very quick to open up. Great block there. There we have the injury to Oliveira, and it's just a foot race down the sideline. You're not going to beat him.
He's up and limping as Oliveira, and it's 24-6. Now, the question is this going to be a real extra point attempt? Are they going to just try and put it up and take the 7, or will they try some chicanery? The holder is Andy Logan, who is the punter. Larry Steinberg in, and he did kick it, and it's through. So, with 6 minutes and 10 seconds, the pattern continues for Kent. They've been a second-half team, and on the MAC Game of the Week, we travel to Oxford, Ohio, as Western Michigan, led by quarterbacks Tony Kimbrough and Dave Cruz, will try to continue their winning ways as they are today against the struggling Redskins of Miami University. That's live, 12:30. And we'll have that for you. That's Eastern time. There's a loose football. Kent's got it. Kent's got the football. And it was John Greenway, a defensive back on the squibber.
Well, I don't think Central Michigan was looking for that onside kick at all, Jim. The other thing I'm going to bring up here is the weather may now become a factor. It's raining kind of steadily here, so Kent may have picked themselves up a 12th man in the field conditions. It's astroturf, it's wet, it's slippery, and we saw a great onside kick. You couldn't execute that kick any better.
Let's take a look at what happened. Now watch this ball. It's up for grabs, and one of the Kent players, I couldn't see who it was, Greg, popped it back up. Yep.
Yeah, it was a tip play, and it was a great recovery. I think LJ, let's see here.
Ray Carosha, meanwhile, the fullback up to around the 30-yard line.
John Greenway recovered that ball on the tip, Jim. So John Greenway, strong safety, came up with a big play for Kent here in the third quarter. And right now, the momentum is shifting back to Kent State. Hey, they get a touchdown here. It's 24-14 with a lot of time left.
5:43 remains, third quarter. It is 2nd and 8. Kent at the 31 of Central Michigan. High toss to Wilkerson. Needs a block. Got a block to the outside, but great pursuit by Duran Robertson, the strong safety.
That was an outstanding play by Duran Robertson, because if Wilkerson gets by him, it could be another foot race to the end zone. Watch it here as he goes to the outside. Obviously, Kent has found something in that secondary, but look at Duran Robertson. That is what you call a great open field tackle. That's an NFL tackle, Jim. A lot of NFL players don't even make that kind of tackle.
3rd and 4 for Kent at the Chippewa 27. Carosha, the fullback's going to be close to the first down. Depends on the spot. Scott Elferink, second-team All-MAC player from a year ago, in on the stop, and it's measurement.
And that was another quick opener right up the middle there, and it was a good play call. We'll see if they have enough for the first down as they bring the chains across. Jim, I think they're a little short this time. They didn't get the spot that they would have liked by the officials, so I think they're going to have to run another play. They missed it by about half a yard.
All right, what's your call then, Mr. Coach?
I'll run the ball.
Good, Greg. Would you sneak it, or would you run the option?
I'd give it to the fullback again and just power it up. They don't have a lot to go, and it's going to take a heck of a stand by the Central Michigan defensive line to stop a power play by the fullback. I just think they're going to make it.
So it is 4th and 1. By the way, Eric Wilkerson has now passed Central Michigan's Curtis Adams. He is now 3rd on the all-purpose list, but he's not thinking about that. He's also passed for 3,000 yards in his career.
I just say give it to the fullback. Let's see what happens.
From the 24, 4th and 1. Wilkerson, first down and more, and he lands at the 19-yard line. But he lost the football, and Central's got it. I can't believe this.
Rich Curtis on the play. Rich Curtis, and I think he lost the ball before he hit the ground.
That's 3 Wilkerson fumbles unofficially by our count.
It was a great tackle, but he should have held out to the football. And unlike the last time, and there's a flag, and I think it's called on the Kent State bench. It was called on the Kent State bench, and it's going to cost them more yards on that one. Unsportsmanlike conduct. So if there weren't enough problems for Kent State, they've just gotten another one. Let's watch this one again, and we'll watch where he fumbles. It's a great play, great execution, good block. He's upended. Here he goes. Where does he lose the ball? Right.
Stolen. You know what? It looked like he stole the football.
No, it just popped out. Rickhamstrick got in under there, and the ball just popped out just a half second before he touched ground. It was a close call, Jim.
1st and 10 now for Central Michigan as they wait to get everybody lined up right now. The ball is now, after the penalty, the major, at the 35-yard line, as one of the assistant coaches is going crazy for Kent on the sideline. Here's John Hood, and he is brought down at the 41-yard line. Now let's check in on the sidelines with John LaChance.
All right, fellas, with the rain coming now, the training staff inside of CMU has been very busy. They switched turf shoes here. They've gone from more of a tennis shoe to this, a turf shoe. They're looking for better traction, and it looks as though the rain is coming right back on us and should be here the entire fourth quarter.
All right, thank you, John. 4:14 remains here in the third quarter. And Central Michigan continues to hammer away as it is 2nd and 4. John Hood spins back to the line of scrimmage. Ball pops loose after the play. It'll be 3rd and again about 4 yards.
J.D. Barnes on the tackle. And going back to the fumble, to say the least, to me perhaps an understatement. That one may have killed Kent State's chances because Kent was going in, had some great momentum going, and there was no reason to doubt that they would get some kind of points on the board. Again, I think the ball just popped out a half second before he hit the ground. It was a close ball. I can understand why the Kent State coaches are upset on it, but the fact remains is the official made a pretty good call on the play.
3rd and 4, and Hood is going to be stopped. And a penalty flag to go with it. John Jackson was on the stop, but let's check out that flag.
Well, the initial indication, it is against Central Michigan. Holding, so Kent will get the ball back again. Good defensive play here. And there was a little hold here by number 73. And, well, looks like Central Michigan will have to give up the ball.
Holding, offense, face mask, defense, offset. Replay the down, 3rd down.
Not only did we have the holding penalty, we had a face mask on the defense. So it's a 3rd down and 4 to go. And it's just not been Kent State's afternoon. They can't even get the ball on the penalty.
It is really pounding down now, as John LaChance referred to earlier. So we'll do it again at 3rd and 4 from the 41. There's a safety blitz, wide open. That's Eric Stockford, the tight end, and he's down at the 25 of Kent. J.D. Barnes on the blitz, nobody home. 1st down, Central.
Well, they caught him on the safety blitz. They ran away from the safety blitz, and a big pass play for Central Michigan. Watch it here again. As he's rolling to the near side of the field, the safety just out of your picture. John Jackson almost had him, but caught him a split second before he released the ball for the 1st down. Wow.
That's number 17 by our count unofficially. 1st and 10 Chippewas of Central Michigan at the Kent 25. Bert Widener put a good hit right there on the play, as it'll be 2nd down and long. Also, J.D. Barnes was there, as again, Central just going to John Hood. And you know, Greg, we should remind everybody that Donnie Riley came in on a per-game basis as 6th in the nation in yards per ball game in rushing.
That's right, and we haven't called Donnie Riley's name too often. I think he's only been in on 2 plays to begin with.
2:10 remaining, 3rd quarter. It's Kench in at one wide out, but they gave it instead straight ahead to the fullback. And so with 1:56 remaining, it'll be 3rd and long. And Central Michigan continues to use Connolly, who was injured briefly in the 1st half.
Well, now here's an opportunity to use up the remaining time here in the 3rd quarter, Jim, and get some more points on the board. If they can't get a touchdown, obviously they're going to look for a field goal here. And if they can run enough time off the clock, they can get the win to their back here in the 4th quarter.
1:27 and counting, 3rd quarter. 3rd and 6. Ball at the 21 of Kent. Bender, didn't work as he went to Maurice Brandon now in. And it'll be 4th down, and here comes the kicking unit, Kevin Nickel.
I tell you, we've seen a lot of running backs in for Central Michigan this afternoon. Maurice Brandon, the latest addition to that potent rushing game.
They got enough tailbacks to last them a lifetime here.
They got enough tailbacks to last them to the turn of the century.
And so here's Nickel. is 3 of 3 on the season thus far, 1 of 1 today. Partially blocked. That ball rolling toward the end zone. And was blocked behind the line, so it is a touchback. Bert Widener got a paw on it that time. That attempt was from the 28, would have been a 38-yarder. 41 seconds remaining, third quarter, and Kent comes up with a defensive play.
Well, I think their defense has played very well here in the third quarter, Jim. They've been making some big plays. They've been stopping Central Michigan when they've had to stop Central Michigan. Unfortunately, the offense hasn't made the big play except for the one, the Eric Wilkerson long touchdown run, and they blew the golden opportunity just about 4 or 5 minutes ago. They just don't have enough time.
Young on the keeper to about the 21, maybe the 22-yard line. Craig Allen, the outside linebacker, was there for Central Michigan.
Now, we may see some more turnovers here in the fourth quarter because the field is becoming very, very slippery. We have a steady rain falling right now, and it's obvious that this rain will continue for the rest of the football game.
Hard for an option team to come back in these conditions to boot. 10 seconds remains, third quarter. Young, he has time. There's nowhere to throw. Good fake out, and he'll go out of bounds to stop the clock with 3 seconds left. As he went out of bounds, Rich Curtis, the inside linebacker, and Craig Allen, the outside backer, were there for the Chippewas.
Yeah, Craig Allen really contained him there, and he didn't really have much run. The receiver was covered, so he had no option but to run it out of bounds.
That sets up a 3rd and 8. Kent at their own 23 and facing 0-2 on the season in the MAC unless they can crank up the offense. Young lost the football. Loose football. Who's got it?
Well, they're unpiling now, and it's
a lot of things go on underneath there.
They were really wrestling for the football. Officials standing over the pile to see who got it.
And Kent apparently came up with a football. So Patrick Young recovers the fumble. That's been typical of Kent as we end the third quarter. And Central Michigan continues as they lead it 24-7. Back with the fourth quarter in just a moment.
Presenting a once-in-a-lifetime experience for
Western Michigan, Ball State, Miami of Ohio, Eastern Michigan, Kent State, Central Michigan, Bowling Green, Ohio University, University of Toledo, fighting for glory, honor, and most of all, victory.
Friends, I am personally offended by high prices, so you have my vow. I'll beat any store, anytime. Insane! My audio and video prices are so low, no one can go lower!
Margin, Central Michigan was -7. They've turned it around this afternoon.
Oh, 4th and 23. Andy Logan, the punt, as you saw the scoreboard, Michigan by 14 as expected, winning easily. Central Michigan, meanwhile, on that punt will get it about the 44. Let's take a look at the rest of these scores right now that we have in. West Virginia, my sleeper pick to win the NCAA this year, leading Virginia Tech. And Bama, this is a surprise, trailing Kentucky, who just knocked off Kent last week, 17-7. Bill Curry under some heat down there in Bama.
And again, to that turnover margin, Kent State a +3 and Central Michigan had really turned the ball over. First, quite a reversal here in this football game.
1st and 10, and L.D. Hartman went flying by, and it was still a loss of 2 on the play for John Hood. It was 1st and 10 at the 44 of Kent by Central Michigan. And Kent's going to have to address their kicking problems, Greg, because they're just still having a lot of problems in the punting area.
Now, the other thing, too, is, by the way, John Hood now out of the ball game. The other thing here from a field position standpoint, Central Michigan is getting good field position here in the fourth quarter. So not only is Kent State trailing, they're not able to back Central Michigan against their own goal line.
Ball just shy of the 45, 2nd and 11. Conley is stacked up. Take your choice. You got Bert Widener in there. Paul Haynes, the free safety. I mean, just pick them. A lot of golden flashes there, along with Eric Timko. You know, another thing we should mention, I think the defense of Kent has played a pretty good football game when you consider they've been on the field 21 of 30 minutes in the first half.
Well, that's an excellent point. They're ragged. The turnovers have hurt Kent's offense, and you're right. For the most part, Central Michigan wouldn't have 24 points had it been for those turnovers.
Here's the blitz. And Bender's going to go down, and, wow, there was some house cleaning. Widener came in and cleaned up. It was Andrew Harmon, the outside linebacker, who finally wrapped around his arms around the young quarterback, and Bender goes down for the first time in a while.
Joe Technev left the initial charge. Look at him in there, almost gets the quarterback before he sets up. It gets back up in the play and helps in on the tackle. Great pursuit.
Todd Winters is back in now for Central Michigan. His third punt of the day. Very high kick. Oliveira calls for the fair catch at his 17-yard line. And so Kent will have to try it again from their own 17-yard line with 12:55 remaining here in the fourth quarter, and Central up by 17. Greg Brinda, John LaChance scoping out the sidelines for us. 1st and 10 for Kent State University at their own 18. Patrick Young, home run ball. That's a jumper. Oh, that'll be a penalty on the offense, I believe. James Williams had perfect position.
Well, it was offensive pass interference. There's absolutely no doubt about that. Dino Dawson knew that he wasn't able to catch the ball, and he just kept the defender from making the interception. Watch it here. It looks as if it starts out to be a pretty good pass. He just gives it all in that pass by Young, but the ball just it dies up there and went right over the bag. That was indeed offensive pass interference. And he's throwing the ball into the wind, Jim, so, you know, he's going to have to really put a lot of oomph into it, and they just couldn't get it downfield far enough.
Offense, loss of down, 2nd down. Loss of down.
That says it all.
And quite frankly, even though it was pass interference, Dino Dawson saved an interception.
So it'll be 2nd down and about 8. 2nd and 18, I should say. And it's back at the 8. Here's Wilkerson up the middle. And Kent continues to just try to get some offense going as Mark Dennis, the outside linebacker, the junior, hit on the stop.
Patrick Young has taken the advantage off of his throwing arm, Jim, and maybe that had hurt his maneuverability with that arm and perhaps his throwing motion. So, hey, they're just, he's going for it right now. The heck with the injury. They need points.
Dino Dawson into the game, and Furman Oliveira. Oliveira to the right. As it's 3rd and 16, Kent at its own 13. Patrick Young faked him out. This is an alley-ooper. Wilkerson, they're going to be a penalty marker. Duran Robertson was there in coverage.
Well, all Duran Robertson would have had to do was turn around, and he would have either intercepted the ball or knocked it away. And it was not a very good pass, but it drew the pass interference call. Watch this again. It's just one of those, you're at an alley-oop, and he just did not turn around.
Well, that's when you got to read the eyes of the receiver. And so they're now explaining all the options. That'll be a 1st down for Kent State University, and that should only be about their 6th by my count in this ball game.
Well, the wind now has died down a little bit, so it will give Kent an opportunity to be a little more effective with their passing game. I don't know how much more effective you can be, because you got to believe that Central Michigan defense is knowing whatever's going to happen.
1st down.
I think Patrick Young, Jim, is a very frustrated young man this afternoon because of all of the turnovers and the inability for the offense to sustain anything. They've gotten the big play, the big touchdown from Wilkerson, but they really have not sustained any long drives.
After the penalty, 1st and 10 for Kent, their own 28. Young keeping going around end. This is where he's stuck to the outside. he'll be shy of the first down as he is down at about the 35. James Williams chased him out of bounds.
Well, Patrick Young made something out of absolutely nothing. He saw nothing to the near side of the field, so decided to go back outside. As he goes one way, sees, hey, there's nobody there. Let's try it this way, and he gets good pursuit from the outside. That will show a great athletic quarterback can do.
Another little thing here with Brooks.
11:51 remains in the game. 2nd and 3. Ken at their own 35. Oliveira in motion. Young on the option. Wilkerson going right again. First down, and he's drilled at the sideline at the 42 by Ken Strong, the sophomore out of Flint. First down, Kent. Clock stops with 11:45 remaining here in the ball game.
You know, Eric Wilkerson has that knee strain, the left knee strain. He's been running to the right the entire second half, so you got to think that he's favoring that knee. However, that's kind of telegraphing where he'll be running all afternoon.
1st and 10, Kent, their own 42. Patrick Young tried to go up inside, and instead he lost 2 as Mark Dennis, having a great game, the junior linebacker, made the play.
That one broke down right at the line of scrimmage. Patrick Young had absolutely no place to go with the ball.
Now, you look at Patrick Young, you talk about what they've done against Wilkerson, look at that. Telltale.
24 yards on 11 carries.
11:11 remaining in the game. 2nd and 12 for Kent. Patrick Young looking. Penalty marker down as it's a catch. And it is incomplete at the 49. Kent says, hey, wait a minute. He got pushed out of bounds, but let's check the marker.
Well, we got holding at number 58 for Kent State, so that's going to nullify it. Chip State fought for holding it. That's right. Chip Curtis holding on that play. He threw it to a very congested part of the field, too, Jim. There was only one wide receiver there, and there were 4 defensive backs and a linebacker, and I don't know why he tried to even force the play.
Offense, declined, 3rd down.
So, the clock will stop for just a moment. 11:03 remains, and we'll keep our eye on that clock for you. The ball is at the 40. It is 3rd and 12 because it was incomplete.
Hey, here we go. Now listen.
Central Michigan declined the penalty. Let's see if Central blitzes. 3rd and 12. Young, half-hearted fake. He throws it, but it came too late. The throw came way too late for Todd Kinder. And so once again, Kent just can't get it together.
Yeah, the right idea, but again, it just broke open too late. It broke open out of bounds, and you don't get any yardage if you complete a pass out of bounds.
Quick punt formation to Andy Logan. Boy, that was a rock out at the 36-yard line. And so Central Michigan, who really doesn't have to put the ball up the rest of the game if they don't want.
Well, the wind had absolutely nothing to do with that punt because the wind is not blowing down on the field. He just shanked it.
10 minutes and 52 seconds remains in the football game. Central still up by 17.
This crowd.
Back here in Mount Pleasant, Michigan, Kelly Short Stadium, I'm Jim Isabella with Greg Brinda, John LaChance. 24-7, Central Michigan University leading. And here is a handoff to Darnell Rush up to maybe the 37-yard line. Jeff Stepanek in on the stop.
Jim, you know, John and I have a friendly rivalry going. John, of course, a graduate of Central Michigan. I, a graduate of Kent. And the only consolation that I have this afternoon is that John is getting thoroughly soaked on the sidelines.
Billy Smith was the last runner. This is all I heard for 2 weeks, ladies and gentlemen. So we'll hear more about this, I'm sure, later. 10:20 remains in the game. It is 2nd and 10. No gain on the play. Donnie Riley into the football game with the ball. Spun around. He doesn't gain anything as it's J.D. Barnes out of Zanesville, Ohio, the sophomore, in on the stop, and a flag down.
And it's against Kent, so they keep adding to it. I find it interesting that Donnie Riley is in the game at this point, Jim, with the weather conditions as they are, and he's been nursing an injury, so it's interesting to see why he is in there at this stage of the game.
And of course, Kent last week missed a whole bunch of people.
Face mask, defense, first down.
You see David Neal with the signal. They missed John Massimiani, Eric Timko, Ray Karosha, to name but a few of the injured who didn't even go to Kentucky for the game last week. But now we're seeing Donnie Riley as John Hood gets the breather. First and 10, Central Michigan. They're 18th unofficially in the ball game at the Kent 48. And bursting through to about the 28-yard line is Billy Smith, a freshman out of Detroit, for a first down, and Andy Logan, the free safety, made the save.
Tony Wells also came up to make the tackle, Jim. This play developed so quickly that Kent State literally didn't have time to react. Great inside block by the tackle there, and boy, just brought him down. Boy, was that a quick opener.
Remember, this is the opener for Central Michigan in the MAC. They are 2-1 overall. First and 10. Donnie Riley escapes. Still on his feet, and he picked up 8 when he should have had nada. Andrew Harmon and Andy Logan make the stop for Kent.
More bad tackling. I'll tell you one thing, this home field advantage that Central Michigan enjoys is really something here. It seems that they get all the breaks, and right now they're doing a very good job of now controlling the ball and eating some time off the clock. As we watch this play again, look at them getting stopped at the line of scrimmage, breaking some tacklers, and getting enough for the first down.
First, and I'll make that second down and 2 after that big first down play of 8 yards. And the rain continues to pound. Donnie Riley for the first down and more. Spin, spin, spin inside the 20-yard line. And so it'll be another first down.
That's typical of Central's spinning, slashing style of rushing, Jim. That's what they're going to do all afternoon, and right now, Donnie Riley is just adding to Kent's miseries.
Well, Donnie Riley came into this game second in all-purpose yardage, and now he's getting some playing time. Doug Agnew, by the way, was on the last stop. First and 10 for Central at the 20 of Kent. Give to Riley. Reverses his field. And finally is brought down. Eric Timko was hanging on around the leg to help with a host of tacklers.
L.D. Hartman came off the field just prior to that play, Jim. Seemed to be shaken up, and they're looking at him at the sideline. They're looking at his arm. Shoulder, yeah, and then they're looking at the upper part of that arm. Looks like it's towards the shoulder now, so he got racked up on that tackle just prior to the last play. West Virginia leads Virginia Tech 15-3 in the third quarter. West Virginia ranks 7th in the country.
Ball at the 23 of Kent, second and 13. Here's Billy Smith to about the 19-yard line. Mike Laraway, an inside linebacker, a senior out of Westlake, Ohio, was in on the stop. You know, Greg, the way this race is shaping up in the MAC, we'll take a look at the standings later on, this is becoming an incredibly interesting race. You have 4 teams right now, Kent not among them at the moment, that are really going to go at it. Ball State, Western Michigan, Central, and Eastern Michigan. Eastern are the defending champions.
And we saw Ball State play the first 2 games of our MAC schedule, and they looked pretty impressive.
7.5 minutes remains. Third and 10. At the Kent 19. Try to Riley. He can run all night. Goodbye.
Well, Jim, we've been seeing all afternoon the outstanding play by the Central Michigan offensive line. I'll tell you, a lot of credit has been given to getting all of those turnovers and making points in the running game. The offensive line for Central Michigan this afternoon has done an outstanding job.
7:17 remains, and Central Michigan has 4 touchdowns from their tailbacks.
We on the
You could have driven 4 running backs through that line of scrimmage. What a great hole. And again, sometimes the offensive linemen don't get the notoriety or the credit that they deserve. And I'll tell you, Central Michigan's offensive line deserves a gold star and an A+ this afternoon.
Here's Aaron Kinnebrew for Kent to the outside. Some good cuts, and he's up to about the 37-yard line. Let's point out John Hood in this game has had 3 touchdowns, and we have a marker on the play, and Wilkerson is limping off the field, the Vern Smith winner last year as the #1 offensive player in the MAC.
He's really hurt. It looks like he caught a shoulder too, and they're looking at the right shoulder, and no, he is not feeling well right now.
Well, let's complete a thought we started on earlier while we wait for the penalty. First of all, this is the way the top 3 figured to go from the media poll. Kent was #1, Eastern was #2, Bowling Green was 3. Now, 2 of the first 3 haven't won a game in the MAC yet. That being Bowling Green and Kent.
Should tell you something about polls.
Never trust the media, people. Never.
Personal foul on the receiving team. First down.
Frustration there, Greg.
Yeah, a lot of frustration because somebody is just trying to make a big play, make a big block, and unfortunately you just get caught doing the wrong things, blocking on the back, and it cost Kent some, about 20 yards on that play.
1st and 10 now, as this rain is, believe it or not, getting worse. Should have brought my trunks for this one. Kent at the 22. Kinnebrew. Make that P.J. Allen, excuse me, up to the 29.
James Williams on the tackle there. Kinnebrew, a powerful runner. He uses a lot of that upper body strength.
Now let's take a look at the race, the way things were developing coming into today. Now look at this. Now remember, Central had not played coming into today's action in the MAC. So they're going to go up in that upper echelon. Here's another big give up the middle, and it'll be another first down. Greg Wagner out of Canton, Ohio, a senior, gets some action with 6:32 remaining.
David Johnson on the tackle there. So at this point, Kent's just going all out and saying, hey, guys, we're going to try to rush the ball, and because you're not going to be able to accomplish what you want point in this driving rain. It is really coming down right now.
About the only thing that went was Parents' Day, and it rained on them on the 22,000 plus. P.J. Allen out of Newton, Ohio, to the 47-yard line. Duran Robertson in on the stop. To the Broncos. We saw Miami, and I'll tell you what, they're going to knock somebody off before it's done this year. Got some good players on offense there. Patrick Young looking, and the throw was too low. 3:12 remains. It'll be 3rd and 13.
Well, he tried for the quick out there and just didn't get off a good pass, and you got to believe at this point it's almost impossible to get a good grip on the football with the rain coming down as it is. I'll tell you one thing, this is one way to empty out a stadium.
I got a better question for you. Did you bring the umbrella?
Oh, I thought you did.
Uh-oh. 3rd and 13 from the Central 20. P.J. Allen, hello. That is called Slip City, and P.J. got hurt because I think he got hit right in the head by accident as he was going down.
Yeah, his feet went out from under him, slipped on the turf. and got knocked by Steve Gruhl.
Marinka was in on the stop. JJ, 6'4", 250-pound sophomore for Central, and the clock winding down to 3 minutes. I just want to know one thing. Is there poetic justice for you and John LaChance getting rained on?
Yes.
4th and 13. And it's incomplete. Dino Dawson was there along with Mike Pascal. And so
now for the second week in a row, we have a brawler here at the end of that play. I think Patrick Young took a shot.
So with 2:45 remaining, it's 31-7 Central.
Now in at quarterback for Central Michigan as they try to just run out the clock here with 2:40 to go in the fourth quarter.
After all the offsetting penalties and so on and so forth, Maurice Brandon was there. 2:33 left. I thought Hurricane Gilbert left us. It's still here. We want to thank everybody. Val King, our executive producer. Today's game produced by George Williams. And John LaChance, our associate producer. And Paul Kassuth, our director. Thank you, gentlemen, along with Tom Farmer and the rest of the crew. As you will see momentarily, here's Billy Smith up to about the 30-yard line. L.D. Hartman in on the stop. He will be close to a first down. We also would like to thank Central Michigan University for their fine help. Fred Stabley, their SID, and for Kent, John Wagner, a fine SID. Thank you to both universities and those gentlemen. And also our thanks, by the way, to the folks from Kentucky Fried Chicken here in Central Michigan at Mount Pleasant. 1:30 left. Level the little handoff play straight up the gut as they're wrapping this one up. Want to thank Paul Amadeo, the Director of Athletics for Kent State University, Frank DeMarco, the Media Relations Director, as well as John Wagner, the SID. Thanks to Dr. Walt Snyder from Central Michigan, the Associate Athletic Director, Fred Stabley, as we mentioned, his staff, Rob Kaminsky, Gene McLean, Marilyn Risen.
And I want to really thank our spotters. They've done a great job this afternoon. Guys, we couldn't have done it without you.
Philip Hendricks and Scott Hubrexy. Here's the handoff again up to about the 37-yard line as bodies continue to fly. Maurice Brandon. It'll be, let's call it 2nd and 10. They'll probably run just about one play and that'll do it.
Yeah, I would say one more play and they'll just get out of this, which has turned into a...
What's the word
skating. You know, on turf, it's looks like an ice rink right now.
All you need is Wayne Gretzky. Here's what should be the final handoff. Maurice Brandon. He'll be shy of the first down, but that doesn't really matter. L.D. Hartman in on the stop. And so, the Chippewas of Central Michigan will win their first game in the MAC. They go to 3-1. Kent is 0-2, the preseason favorite. They go to 2-3 on the season, their third straight loss.
Herb Dramedy has got to be very, very happy right now with his Chippewas winning the MAC opener game at home and doing a pretty good number on a very good football team, which didn't play good football this afternoon in Kent.
And there is the final score of today's game. 31-7. Herb Dramedy is a happy, happy man right now. He said, I want to win this at home. I want to win this because this is the MAC opener for us. He's got 7 straight MAC games coming up now from this point on forward. And so he gets off to the kind of start that he wanted to. And of course, we've alluded to Kent and the disappointment today. So what we'll do is we'll take a break and wrap it up. The final, Central Michigan leading by a score of 31-7. They just coasted at the end. And so that again is our final, 31-7. We'll return. All right, back here in Mount Pleasant, Michigan. Jim Isabella and Greg Brenda and... Wait a second here. What is this?
Well,
What's
that was
this?
part of my deal with John. Whoever won the game would have to don the winning sweatshirt, and here I am donning the Central Michigan. My end of the deal, having him getting soaked for the entire football game.
Well, really, the story of this football game, folks, was very simple. The tailbacks for Central Michigan played well. Kent did not have anything go right on offense. They turned the ball over so many times. Eric Wilkerson was really limited all day, and Greg, you know, John Hood had 3 touchdowns. Donnie Riley had the 4th one of the tailbacks for Central Michigan. And really, I must say, I have never been as surprised as I have perhaps with this football game. Both sides thought it would be close. This was very unexpected.
Well, even after the first turnover, Jim, and Central Michigan getting on top 7-0 early, you kind of figured that Kent would be able to run the ball and establish their own offense. Again, some more turnovers hurt them, but the fact remains they were not able to keep a consistent drive going until the final minutes of the football game. And when you don't have offensive consistency like that, there's very little chance of you winning a football game.
And so for Central Michigan, they're now 1-0 in the Mid-American Conference. Very important because now they have a stretch of 8 straight games, including 2 today. Now, we have an opportunity here. We're going to check at some of the action from earlier today. And, of course, as we also mentioned, Ball State, Eastern Michigan, and Western Michigan, as of right now, are unbeaten in the MAC. So Central did what they had to do today to get into contention. Right now, that's the front 4 at the moment.
Now, let's talk about also what happens now to Kent. Favored to win the MAC, now 0-2 in the MAC, and there's an attitude problem there that has to be corrected. Again, there wasn't a very good attitude last week against Kentucky. Now they have to change gears and change directions and at least get that positive attitude going. When you've lost 3 straight, it's got to be tough for you. And Dick Crum's got a big job ahead of him to get these guys in sync again and where they should be, because it's a very good football team. Having them unable to do what they wanted to do this afternoon is really going to hurt them.
And, of course, while Greg is looking dapper and attired here in the Central Michigan thing.
Let's bring in John. Come on.
Here he is, ladies and gentlemen.
This is what we've been waiting for all week long, Greg. All week long, seeing this shirt. What'd you dry here today?
What's that?
What'd you dry up here today? Long run from upstairs. Had a chance to chat with Coach Durrani coming off the field. He was pleased as punch. Couldn't be happier coming into 8 straight MAC contests. We're very happy with the victory today.
And I think he's got to be surprised, though. His Chippewas played a great game, John.
A great game. Defensively, George Wickhamstrick, he was a key with Young driving that option inside, and, of course, with Wilkerson looking like with a knee, he favored to the right side the whole entire second half. He may be a little hurting.
Yeah, that's absolutely true, and I think one of